Welcome to Letters to Darling. Before we start, let's say an affirmation. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and repeat after me. I am free from who I used to be. I am choosing softness, healing, and becoming. I am free from who I used to be. I choose softness, healing, and becoming. Hi, darlings. This is Letters to Darling, aka Dream Darling. Light your candle, lay in bed, or get in your comfiest space, and let's get real. Today's letter is all about habits of healing. It's important for you to understand that healing isn't just a big breakthrough where one day you're going to wake up and you're all healed from all the habits that you've been doing. That's just not how it works. Healing is linear. So one day you are going to feel like so good, like you've done everything that you're supposed to do today, like you're feeling good, you're thinking good, but tomorrow you could just sit there and lay in bed, which is totally okay because it's really important to let your body rest, to let your body feel those emotions. So let's get started. We're going to start with writing letters to your old self, your past self. That's really, really important. I wrote so many letters to my past self, basically telling myself goodbye. Like, I can no longer bring in these habits, that my thought process into the person that I want to become, because she doesn't think like that. She doesn't move like that. She doesn't dress like that. She doesn't talk like that. Like, you have to say goodbye, and it's really, really hard because those habits from your old self are always gonna come up. But as long as you know that that is like your old version of you, you can completely kill it. Me and my friends talk about all the time, like, you have to kill your old self. Not literally, but literally. You have to basically set a funeral for her and say goodbye, because you don't want to bring that into your new life. You need to write letters to your old self, to people that you need to let go. You cannot carry on all of these old people from your past self who knew your past self into the person that you are becoming, because all they are going to do is drag you right back to your old self, and you definitely do not want that. And trust, I've had to set boundaries. I've had to let people go just because they remind me of the old version of myself that I do not want to be anymore. You can even write a letter to your pain and tell it goodbye. Like, I no longer want to carry you anymore. Like, that is something my old self would do, but not this new person that I am becoming. So write letters, and don't ever send them out unless you really feel like you need to send them out, but keep them with yourself, write it in your journal. And we'll go over some journal prompts that you can use in order to, like, really reflect on your old self and tell it goodbye, and same with your pain and letting people go. So we'll talk about that towards the end of the episode. Now, since we're speaking about writing, now that you've written your letter to your past self, write exactly how you want your future self to be, how you want it to act, how you want it to dress, how you want it to think, how you want it to even speak, or how you want other people to perceive you. Write it down as if it's already here. So don't write, I want to be, write, I am. That is already manifesting that future self for you. So write, I am, speak it like it's already happening. And you need to remember, like, what are their habits? Because your habits, obviously, laying in bed, not doing anything, So write about the habits that you want to do. And then after you write that, do it. Do it. Your future self, your highest self cannot become without you acting on those habits that you want them to be. If you want her to wear Chanel shoes, then you need to write, I am wearing Chanel shoes. I have a collection of Chanel shoes. And figure out how she's getting that. What job is she working at? What does her life look like in order to have that collection of Chanel shoes? So you need to start speaking like how she or he would speak. I was told a couple of months ago to sit down in my journal and just write for the next like 5 years. So, what is that, like 2030? And write, I am blah, 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 blah. And then do not read it again. Do not touch it again. Just close your journal, or if you're about to journal again, go to the next page and don't look at it. Don't look at it again and let it manifest for itself. Because me, I know what I want and I know what I wrote in there. So now it's my turn to put action towards what I want. And that is the thing. Oh my gosh, people manifest things, are trying to become better, but they don't act on it. You have to act on it, and that's so important. Show the universe, God, your highest power that you want it, and that you're working towards it. So when they see that effort, they have no choice but to give it to you. Okay? If you're saying, oh, like, I want Chanel shoes, I'm like manifesting Chanel shoes, like, please, please, I want it, I want it. But you aren't putting any effort or any action and showing the universe that you want it. So why would they give it to you? This was told to me also a couple of months ago, that would you give money to someone who you deem as ungrateful? No, you wouldn't. So that's the same thing with God and the universe. They want to see that you are grateful for what you already have and that you are putting effort to changing. And once they see that, that is when your manifestations become reality. So be intentional with everything that you're doing. So talk to God, talk to the universe, or whoever, whatever you believe in. Talk to them, because they send you signs. They really do. And I know some people don't believe in angel numbers, and angel numbers is a whole different topic, but your angel numbers really do send you messages from the universe. And I can talk about that more later, but let's keep talking about these habits. So your morning defines your whole entire day, literally. So understand this. Your bed is just for sleep. That is it. It is not for you to sit there and scroll on your phone or even journal in. It is not for that. It is just for sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, get out of bed immediately. Don't check your phone. Don't check your phone in the morning. Wake up, make your bed, and go to a different space. I like to go into my kitchen to start my day off, because I know that if I stay in my bed any longer, I'm just going to want to sleep in there, or I'm just going to want to scroll on my phone. I even have a couch in my room, and that is where I sit when I want to be in my space, like in my own space. I go and I sit on my couch, not my bed. So remove yourself from your bed and go downstairs, or go to your kitchen, or go to your living room, or even go to the office space, whatever you have. Just don't sit in your room first thing in the morning, because it's only going to make you more tired, and it's going to draw you right back to that bed. And even making up your bed helps, because now you know, like, okay, like now I definitely can't get in my bed because it's all made up and I don't want to ruin it, you know? So I take my computer, I take my journal, I take all my things, and I even go outside. I spend like 20 minutes outside, and just to feel the air, to feel the sun. And I just spend my time out there until I'm ready to go back inside, and I go back in the kitchen and I continue my work or continue whatever I'm doing. So make sure you're spending some time outside, because honestly, I know that it's hot right now. I know that it's super hot, but even spending like 10 minutes feeling the sun, feeling the grass, and just feeling outside in general really helps boost you up. I started a couple of months ago. I'd wake up, I'd go outside, I'd eat breakfast, and then I'd come back into my room and do some yoga while I watched a podcast or watched a YouTube video that was inspirational. Nothing that wasn't going to teach me anything, because that's exactly what you need in the morning. Not TikTok, something that's going to teach you and something that's going to lighten up your day and something that's going to make you think the whole entire day, like, like that's so true. You know what I mean? I don't like working out, but maybe you do. But personally, for the people who don't like to work out, yoga is amazing. I feel like when I do yoga, it releases all of my tension, releases all of like my sorrow from the last week or the last month, whatever. I feel like it releases everything and it's so good, and I encourage you all to try it if you guys don't like working out, because it's not as like tiring, I would say, or like painful as like working out. But I'm not dogging on working out, because that's also super good. So if you like to work out, then continue working out. But for the people who don't, yoga is so great. And I feel like it kind of does like the same thing, maybe slower. But, do whatever you feel is comfortable and feels like yourself. So when I started healing, I honestly, like, I went back into like my elementary school itself, because when I was in like elementary school and like 6th grade-ish, I loved to read. And ever since, like, I wrote my letters to my past self, I'm putting action and effort into becoming who I want to become. I picked up books. I picked up books. I even got a library card so I could go and get books. And that honestly brought so much joy to me, because reading is something that I miss, but I didn't know how to get back into it. And reading, oh my God, it's amazing, like fictional or non-fictional. It's so great. And it's also really good to start off your day with a book, or even end your day with a book. When I was like, when was this? It was maybe like January. I found books that I really, really enjoyed, and these were fictional books. And I promise, guys, I got the book. I read the whole entire book that day, 400 pages. I read it that day. That's how excited I was. And I was like, this has to be like my inner child, because she loved reading and I took that away from her. So now I'm giving it back to her, and I pick up books and I read them. Even reading for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day will help. Seriously. I used to be like a couple months ago, I used to be like, no, like books, like I don't read books, like I don't need a book, whatever. Until I picked up that book. Now I need books. I need to read a book every once in a while. So read a book, any book, because this was my thought process. I was like, okay, like I'm just now getting started into reading. So what I need is a fictional book for my imagination, for my imagination, and then I'll pick up a nonfiction book right after I finish my fiction book, to help like slowly guide myself into reading non-fictional books. Because I'm not gonna lie, non-fictional books are so boring, because they are just repetitive. They're just saying things over and over and over and again. And I told my dad that, and my dad was like, well, it just needs to get inside your mind. And I was like, okay, like that's true. So I had to read the book like 10 minutes a day to get myself to really enjoy reading, because for me, I feel like if I pick up the book and I don't like it and I can't read it, then it just makes me not want to read any book. So me starting off slow with like 5 to 10 minutes helped me really get into it. So try that out and see if you guys like it. Also, getting a calendar was the best decision that I've ever made, because I write in my calendar every single day. Everything that I want to do that day, I write it all out, and then I feel like a high when I've completed everything that I wanted to do today. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the best feeling, because now I have nothing to do, because I did everything. And now I get to go and enjoy my habits, my reading, work on Dream Darling, all of that stuff. And get a calendar. Get a calendar. It literally helps so much. And I've been trying to get my best friend to get a calendar, but I guess they're not really for her, which is totally fine if it's not for you. Like, I'm not gonna tell you, like, you don't have a calendar. Like, what a loser. No, no. But I'm just saying it does help ease, like, your stress of the day because you know what you have to get done. And it's like, okay, like, I can totally get this done. You can kind of like schedule out, like, your whole day. Like, it is literally perfect. So if you feel the need to get a calendar, please get one because it's amazing. Okay, so for our journal prompt for today, it's what habits helped you survive, which are helping who you are becoming. So sit on that, think about it, and then write it down and release those habits that were just there to help you survive because now you aren't surviving, you are becoming. So that is the closing of Letters to Darling. But before you go, let's say an affirmation. Every day I make soft choices that support my healing. I am no longer bound by my past. I am free, glowing, and whole. Every day I make soft choices that support my healing. I am no longer bound by my past. I am free, glowing, and whole. Thank you so much for listening. With my love, always, Dream Darling.